Well, here we are, the first week of our course, and there is a lot of information to address. And remember, we only have 8 weeks, and that's to cover about 3 to 4 years worth of information. And I say that because in reality, it takes about 3 to 4 years to develop and implement a curriculum, to collect some data on that curriculum, and then evaluate how effective it's been before we actually make revisions and re-implement it. So with that being said, let's jump right in. First of all, if you have not done so already, please take a look at some of the presentations I've provided. These include the properly formatting your documents presentation, the being successful online presentation, the link to the FPU library page, and the APA style website. All of these are here as resources for you and to help you understand some of the course expectations, so be sure you take a look at those. Now, looking at this week's module expectations. I have a little bit of information here for you, and this is just a snapshot of what's actually included in this presentation here, and basically it mirrors what's included in the syllabus. Now, as you scroll down, you'll see the first thing I have posted for you in week 1 is a form on spoken word, Why I Hate Religion. And if you select this, it opens up a new window where you can actually access the link to view the video. Now, there's no required assignment connected to this, but feel free to post a response and maybe begin a discussion on the contents. The next form is an assignment, which is your Welcome to Class form. And this form serves a couple of purposes. First of all, it's good to know a little bit about each other in our cohort. It helps us to connect, maybe find some commonalities. It's going to be helpful throughout the program because you'll have someone who you can share your thoughts and ideas with, and maybe even get some support from someone who's in a similar profession. Your responses will also be used to help you begin to identify possible group members. Remember that many of the curriculum steps will be completed as a group or a curricular team, so find someone who teaches the same grade level you do or who shares similar coaching responsibilities, because this is going to help you with your curriculum steps. And when you respond to the questions listed there, be as complete and thorough as you possibly can. Respond in complete sentences. Get into the practice of always using graduate level quality writing. This is an expectation of all your assignments throughout this program and even included in the threaded discussions you participate in. Now, your initial post to this assignment is actually due on Wednesday. Typically, all the threaded discussion initial posts are due Tuesday of each week, but this time it will be due on Wednesday. And then you actually have until Sunday to respond to at least 2 of your classmates. Next is an assignment form titled 5 Reasons Why My Program is Important. Here, I want you to really think about what your program can do for the students or the athletes it serves. Whether you're teaching or coaching, think about what makes your program special. What ideas, what thoughts, skills, or knowledge does your program offer to students or athletes? And don't just come up with the first 5 things that come to mind. Give this some serious thought. Your 5 reasons should be detailed and specific. They should provide some significance and some support and purpose to your program, and it should actually justify the existence of your program. Now, for example, if you're a physical educator and one of your reasons is, my program is important because it reduces obesity. Of course, this is one of the most cliche responses I've received, but consider how this is actually done. There are many factors that contribute to the reduction of obesity, and a PE program is not going to address those factors. So this would not be a good reason to include, unless, of course, you can completely explain and justify how you do that. If you're having some trouble coming up with 5 reasons why your program is important, then we need to ask the question, why do you have a program? Why does your program even exist? So think about your 5 reasons carefully before you list them. Next is your curriculum, teaching, and learning paper. And when you select the assignment form, it will open another window with more information. Select the link to access the assignment descriptions and guidelines, and this is simply a 1 to 2 page response addressing all of the guiding questions listed in a thoughtful essay format. Use each of those guiding questions as a section heading, and that just helps with APA formatting and organizing your paper. And be sure to include your citations in text as well as on a reference page. And when you're done, you'll upload your complete paper as a Microsoft Word document. The next assignment is the first step in developing your curriculum, which is your philosophy and mission statement. Now, let me take a moment to explain this a little bit more. Keep in mind that there are several different types of philosophy statements. There's your personal philosophy, you may have a professional philosophy, you may have a specific teaching philosophy. This assignment is a program philosophy, which means it addresses the purpose, the meaning, the objectives for your current professional program. And this should be your realistic program that you currently work in right now. So if you're a PE teacher, your program philosophy should address the entire physical education curriculum for all students and not just the grade level that you teach. So if you teach in the elementary school setting, your program philosophy should be developed for all K through 6 or all elementary school students. If you're in the middle school, your program philosophy should address the entire middle school population. That's 7th through 8th, sometimes 7th through 9th grade. If you teach at the high school level, your philosophy should cover all students in high school, which is 9th through 12th grade. And your school or program may already have a philosophy and a mission statement created. If it does, that's great. You can use that to help develop one for your specific program if your program doesn't already have one. If not, you'll just need to go ahead and develop one. Again, this is to be approached as a realistic program philosophy to address your current professional program. And this is probably one of the most important components in your overall curriculum because your philosophy is the driving force behind what you do and why you do it. It should provide a sense of purpose and direction for your program, and it should be really the foundation on which your program and your job rest. A good philosophy encompasses your true beliefs and your feelings about why you think your program is needed. And we all have these thoughts in our head. We try to justify why we have the position that we do, but by putting this on paper, we're providing ourselves and others who participate in our program a sense of accountability and responsibility in supporting and maintaining those beliefs. And if you really believe what you put into your philosophy, and you should, the remainder of your curriculum will be driven by this, and you'll have clear goals, a clear focus, and a clear purpose for your program. Now, before I give you more on the philosophy, let me take a second to talk about working in groups. As you start to work on your curriculum, you'll notice that there is a lot of information to cover, and this is why it's important that we work as a group or a team. Everyone will develop their own individual philosophies, but later, when you share this with your curricular team, you're actually going to combine yours to develop one program philosophy for your curriculum project, and we'll talk about that more later. Once your group has been determined, you'll need to create some time and opportunity to collaborate with them, whether it be through phone conference calls, Skype, using Dropbox, Google Documents, Join.me. You want to plan time to meet at least once a week. And the groups that have had the most success in this class have met multiple times a week, and then they just disseminate the workload evenly and then come back together at another time later in the week to talk about what they've done. So take into consideration your job duties, the time zone in which you're in. We do have students in different time zones, your personal schedule, any conflicts that you may have, so that no one gets left out, because everyone in your group will be graded based on their participation in those meetings or in that time that you collaborate. So it's important that you do your best to work together with everybody in your group. Now, I would not recommend using email as a form of communication because something always gets lost in the translation or the editing of documents, and that can be detrimental to your overall grade. And I know it can be difficult to complete group work, especially in the online environment, but I do think that it is vital, it's essential to meeting the outcomes of this course and really mirroring the realistic application of developing a curriculum. So the first step in developing your philosophy is to take another look at those 5 reasons why your program is important. This should help frame the overall purpose of your program and justify the need for your program. You can also take a look at the philosophy worksheet that's provided in the back of the textbook. That's there to help you out also. Now, although all of the statements that are listed in that worksheet may not apply to you, there are some that are essential statements that really need to be addressed in your program. So in your philosophy, you should include at least 4 essential components. Number 1, the purpose of your program. Why does your program exist? What does it exist for? Number 2, why do students or athletes need your program, or why do you think they need your program? 3, what does your program offer students or athletes that they can't get elsewhere, and how does that benefit them? And then 4, what are the ultimate goals of your program? So what should a student or athlete be able to do as a result of going through your program? And these should be written, as I mentioned before, in an essay form, typically no more than 1 to 2 pages, actually less. A good philosophy can be summarized in less than 1 page, and that's hard to do. But in your philosophy, you don't want to state what you plan to do or what you intend to do within your program. So you want to avoid saying things to the effect of, in this program, we will teach students teamwork. avoid making those statements that you may not be able to verify or back up. So don't say things like "we will." Also, for example, some philosophies may say in our program, students will have an enjoyable experience participating in a variety of games. Well, if a student goes to the program and does not have an enjoyable experience, what then? You can't promise or guarantee that every single student is going to have an enjoyable experience. So try to avoid making statements like that. Another one is in our program, students will learn the benefits of being physically active. Again, what if they don't learn those benefits? Just because you inform the students and maybe you have them read something, it doesn't mean that they're actually learning anything. So think about those kinds of statements, avoid them in your philosophy. Instead, explain what your beliefs are, what you value, what you hope to accomplish, and what you think the need and purpose of your program is. Remember that this is not a personal philosophy, so try to look at the big picture as it relates to your overall program. Again, go back to those 4 essential statements that I made to be sure you address those in your philosophy. And although it's not required, the majority of program philosophies begin with the following statement or something similar to this. The physical education department at school X believes, and you go on to continue to say what you believe. Or the Titans football program believes, and this is often followed by exactly what you believe, what you value, what you feel your program can offer. So beginning your philosophy statement this way, it clearly states the program that you're representing, and it almost forces you to focus on what you believe to be important. Then you can state why you believe those things are important. So if you've taken a look at some examples of program philosophies or conducted any research in the development of a program philosophy, you've probably noticed that they're almost always followed by a mission statement. Maybe your program already has a mission statement that goes along with the philosophy. If so, great. Use it, modify it for your program. If not, you'll need to develop one. And a mission statement is really a natural part of your program philosophy. And the purpose of a mission statement is to summarize the philosophy, to identify your program's fundamental purpose and indicate your program's reason for existence. Writing a good mission statement is not easy to do, but it should provide a clear representation of your program's fundamental goal in about 1 to 3 sentences. So try to encompass all of your program philosophy beliefs within your mission statement. And again, this is not done easily. It should take some time. You should brainstorm this for a while. You should have to write it and make some revisions as well. So follow the assignment guidelines, develop your philosophy and mission statement, and when you're done, submit that as a Microsoft Word document in the appropriate form. Then there's your quiz. And the quizzes are always timed. You'll only have 60 minutes to complete the quizzes, but you will have unlimited attempts until they close, which is usually on Sunday at 11:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. When you attempt the quiz, access a reliable internet connection. When you begin, don't go to your local Starbucks or your McDonald's thinking that their Wi-Fi is reliable, because if you get disconnected, Moodle will log you off and you will automatically receive a 0 for your grade. Also, you will not be able to begin the quiz, go do something else, and then come back to it later. Once you start the quiz, the timer begins, and when the time runs out, so does your opportunity to complete it. So be sure you spend some time, some uninterrupted time, when you're ready to take the quiz. Lastly, begin taking a look at the Welcome to Class form to identify some classmates that may teach the same grade levels or coach the same thing that you do, so you can find some commonalities there. I will have a form next week for you to begin organizing your groups, but it doesn't hurt to start early with that. Now, as you see, there's a lot to do and just a little time to get it done, so be sure you begin early and work throughout the week. If you have any questions on any of this, feel free to contact me. Take care.